In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the stock compressor that comes with Ableton Live. It's just called Compressor. And it's over here in the audio effects part of the library, and it just says Compressor. Now I have a session here. It's a mix of a cover of the Stevie Wonder song Superstition, and here's what it sounds like just kind of raw.
Very superstitious, writing on the wall. Very superstitious, ladders by the fall.
Okay, you can hear it's a great recording and a great performance. Shout out to Dr. Christoph Thompson at Ball State University and the musicians there. That's where this was recorded. And so we're going to narrow in on this one vocal track, Vox C12. This was the lead vocal recorded with an AKG C12 microphone. And we're going to add a compressor to it. Now, if you watch the earlier videos in this series, you already know what these settings do, right? Like threshold and ratio, attack and release and makeup gain. So I'm not going to go over what those knobs and buttons do. I'm just going to show you where to find them on this compressor, and I'm going to show you the three views for this compressor. So let's check this out. Here in this view, the threshold is this blue line, and the gain reduction or the overall level will show up in this orange line.
Writings on the wall. Very superstitious,
So you can see that adjustment there.
ladders about to fall.
And here's the ratio. If I crank that ratio up,
13-month-old baby,
it's going to make a bigger difference.
broke the looking glass.
And of course, a weaker ratio will make less of a difference.
7 years of bad luck.
All right. Here are the attack and release controls. And just to recap what I said in an earlier video, the attack time can vary, right? You want to determine, do you want to grab a hold of the transient really aggressively, or do you want to let some sound in before the compressor kicks in? There's also a release button here, and there's an auto feature. So Ableton Live will analyze the material and choose, I guess, what it thinks is a good release time. It's actually not bad, doesn't sound bad. But again, if you want maximum control, leave that disabled and control it yourself. I'm just going to set it on here for now. I'm going to set my attack time to maybe 75 milliseconds.
Writings on the wall. Very superstitious.
And then here is where your makeup gain is. Actually, two spots. There's an out decibel section where you can raise the volume or lower the volume if you need to. And this will make up for the gain reduction. And you can, by the way, see the gain reduction in this view right here with these orange numbers. Or you can press this makeup button, and this is going to apply automatic makeup gain. Now, I will warn you that this is quite a bit louder than what I normally would do in the makeup gain section of another compressor. So you just have to work with it. You have to get used to the way Compressor in Ableton Live handles the material.
Writings on the wall.
Let's put that back at maybe 5 to 1.
Very superstitious.
You can hear an immediate difference, right?
Ladders about to fall.
I might even cut this down.
13-month-old baby.
And you're like, well, why bother? Well, it's just making the dynamic range smaller, right? So it's a little more stable, easier to mix in the context of the larger session. There are 3 buttons here that I'm not really going to talk about in Audio Production 1. We'll cover these in the second level. But you can choose to either compress peaks. You can concentrate on the peaks, the volume peaks, the momentary peaks of volume. The root mean squared, or RMS, is sort of an average volume level over time. Or you can turn this into an upward expander, which we're not going to do right now. There's a dry wet knob, which is very handy. And then you have the sidechain section that we are also not going to talk about until Audio Production 2. The knee that you may have seen in other compressors is right here. And there's this look ahead feature that sort of puts a delay on the audio coming out so that it gives the compressor time to react And I guess if you're mixing it, it makes it smoother. I don't know. I haven't had a need to use it, but I'm sure there's a reason to use it. And then you can look at the difference between the logarithmic or linear envelope here. I'm not going to go over that, but you can read the Ableton manual. All right, so lastly, in this view, you can choose between seeing the gain reduction or the output volume.
Writings on the walls.
And you can see that outline there.
Very superstitious.
This is the output level. This is the
Ladder's
original
about to
level.
fall.
So it's up quite a bit. All right, now let's look at a different view. I'm going to go down here and click this first little box. And you may have seen a compressor like this, like especially on a live console, if you're doing sound at a venue or something. This is pretty common. I mean, I guess so is this one. But let's look at this. So here, the threshold is this sort of vertical meter. The output level is this vertical meter. The gain reduction is a meter in the middle. Other than that, everything's the same. It's just a different way of looking at the compression happening.
Writings on the walls.
Whoa, pretty loud.
Very superstitious. Ladder's about to fall.
Not a lot of gain reduction happening there.
13-month-old baby
That sounds pretty terrible, but it's exaggerated
broke the looking glass.
so you can see the effect, right?
7 years of bad luck.
Okay. And finally, there is this view, which you may have seen before in other compressors, where the threshold is sort of this vertical line here. And you can control, the threshold controls how loud does the material have to be before the compressor kicks in. And then you have a gain reduction meter here and the out meter there.
Writings on the walls. Very superstitious. Ladder's about to fall.
Other than that, everything's the same. So you can really take your pick. And when you change settings in one window, it does change it in the other windows. It's not like they're independent. So this is how you use Compressor in Ableton Live. And if you follow the principles of compression I outlined in the other videos, then you'll be able to add this to different instruments, and tracks in your session, vocals, drums, bass, what have you.